filming. So, first of all, will you, I'll hand you this. Can you join a game? And this is the game board here in front of you.
Okay. So this would be, the game board would be like on a table, and then I'd be holding this as my phone.
Correct. Uh-huh.
Okay. And so I'm here at Gameboards or Boardway.games and enter my code. So I would click right up here, register probably.
So you can register. If you're not hosting the game, then you can just join.
Just join. So click join there or there.
So you can just follow. So you have a join code here.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
You can enter that in.
Okay, so I would come here and type in ABCD on code, and then I'd enter my name, Johnny. Device type. I'm a player on this phone, and then I would click join.
Perfect. So you've joined the game. You'll see everyone else has joined here. You have Harry Potter people. And then can you go ahead and start the game?
Sure.
So
I start right here.
Yep.
So you start on the game board.
Correct. Once everyone has joined.
Okay, gotcha. Start.
Okay, so now you've started. We'll pull up. This is the game board that you see, and then this is your hand.
Okay. So we're playing Uno.
Yeah, so we're playing Uno. So looking at your hand, any observations?
Remind me how we play Uno. I'm looking for like 4 and 3 or something of a kind.
Yeah, so in Uno you're trying to get rid of all of your cards first and match either the color or the number.
Okay. And remind me how the turns work.
So let's say it's your turn right now.
Okay, so here's a question. Do you have the Uno rules somewhere? Let's say that I'm a complete Uno moron and I don't know how to play.
So say we did have the rules.
Okay.
And you're looking at that.
Perfect.
How would you try to get there? What would you do to try and get to the rules?
Oh, probably these ...
Perfect.
Click
so
on.
If you click that, it would pull up your options.
Oh, cool.
The rules aren't there.
Okay, yeah.
But that's really good feedback.
So that would have taken me right back to here, and I would just click rules. Like, okay.
So is that a logical place, or should we do somewhere
absolutely.
else?
That would have been very intuitive.
Okay. Okay, so let's get back into it then. It's your turn. So will you play one card?
So.
And whatever that means to you to play a card.
Yeah. I can't remember what the.
That's a skip.
That's a skip. So I don't know. I would just put down another red card.
So if this is a real phone, how would you play it?
I would click on the card, probably.
And what would happen?
And the card would appear here or something.
Okay, perfect.
So let's say that I had clicked the skip. Now this 5, a card would appear with the skip on it.
Perfect. Okay.
Red. Okay.
And what if you wanted to play 3 cards at once? So sometimes we play Super Uno. How would you do that?
Would I click them in order? Or maybe I have to click them all at one time?
So what would make the most sense to you?
Probably just clicking them in order.
And they would just play one at a time, or would they wait until you clicked another button to send them to the table?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, probably because it's not going to know when I'm done. So it would be good to have a button. Like, say if I only wanted to play 2 cards, I select those 2, and then I click call out. I don't know.
Okay, good to know. Call out in this situation. That helps us know that we need to
draw.
Explain
is draw the next one that I do when my turn is done? Because you always have to draw a new card.
So in Uno, you don't need to draw at the end of your turn. You only draw when you can't play.
Okay.
So if you
that's right.
If you couldn't
Yeah.
play though in Uno, how would you draw a card?
Draw.
Yeah, you would just click
Yeah.
draw. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And what would you expect to happen?
That another card would appear up here,
Okay.
somewhere on this board.
Perfect.
And maybe it would, if it can't all fit on the screen, like I've got 26 cards, you'd have some sort of a continuation, like an arrow or you
And-
could scroll over or...
So when you just scrolled, you kind of did that. Is that what you would expect to see?
That's probably, like the iPads have done that so much.
Okay.
Or an arrow. Either one would be fine.
Okay. So click on an arrow or scroll through.
Yeah, scroll would probably be my preference.
Okay. And so you talked about playing cards of just tapping on one and having it go out. What would you think about sliding cards out?
Oh, yeah. I
How do
like
you
that
think
even
that
better.
would feel?
Yeah, like that.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And as you slid, it would come up here and then throw onto
Oh, that's
the table.
awesome. That would be the best.
Okay.
But how do you say that your turn is done? Does it just know that right when you stop?
So the idea behind this is that it doesn't have rules. It's totally open, and it's as if you're playing a real card game, because in a real card game, your turn doesn't end magically. It ends because the next person plays or you say you're done.
Oh, okay.
And so you could, even if it's my turn, you could sit there and continue to play just like you could in real life.
Okay, and that's not a mistake of your game. That's just me not knowing Uno well enough.
Well, and it's not just, it's the design of what we're going for is most mobile games do have turns like that.
Okay, to keep people engaged.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it kind of prevents one person from cheating or going overboard, but we're trying to make it so it's a real life situation, but it's just using technology rather than actual cards.
Okay.
And so anything that you could do in real life, we're trying to make it so you can do in the game.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I like that. I like that swipe up.
Is that more intuitive to you than clicking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No. I like the swiping up better, but I probably most intuitively would just touch it
Okay.
to select.
So we didn't have any form of tutorial. If your first time playing, it just popped up and said, touch the cards to play them, or swipe the cards, or scroll the cards. Would you appreciate that?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. So
And maybe if I touched it and it wanted me to, like it could tell I was doing something, like maybe a little thing could pop up and say scroll up.
okay,
Or something.
just some feedback
Maybe
to help
if
you
I
know what
touched
to do.
it 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
Okay. So some feedback that we've received in the past is that sometimes the cards are grouped too closely together, and being a mobile device with a lot of cards, it would be hard to get your finger to fit on one to slide just one up, and you might accidentally slide multiple cards.
I don't think so. You think about how tiny those letters are when you're texting, and we do that fine. Well, I see what you mean. If this shrunk by a magnitude of 5.
So say you wanted to zoom in on your cards.
Oh,
what
yeah.
would you do in order to make them further apart? Okay, perfect.
Just that.
Okay.
2 fingers and pull out. Yeah.
Okay.
Google Map. I would Google Map it.
Okay. And what about when you're playing cards, you tend to hide your cards from other people.
Yeah.
And so on your phone, maybe you need to set it down to go somewhere. How would you hide your cards?
I would click the on or off button. So like on a Android phone that I have, I don't know if it's the same on an Apple phone, but it's just the on off that makes it sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you would expect...
Now, I wouldn't turn my phone off. It's just
Correct.
that one button.
Yeah, you would just lock it.
Lock it. That's what I meant. Yeah.
So you would expect your cards to be there when you unlocked it. That the game
Exactly.
would resume with no delay and
That's
you'd be able
right.
to keep playing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there's also a hide feature on here. If that was there, would you use that? Or do you think you would just still lock your phone? And if you hit hide, what do you think would happen?
If I hit hide, I would imagine that either the whole screen would go black or just these cards would go black.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I think that option is a good option, maybe to even have both. But again, in the instructions, you could put that.
Okay.
But I would probably, if I didn't see anything, or if I didn't see a hide button, I would just probably try that.
Okay. Perfect.
And then get really mad if nothing happened. Who programmed this stupid game?
Exactly. What about, how would you sort your hand if you were handed that deck of cards?
I would probably just, go like this, just slide them over. Maybe as you touch it and move, you kind of see the card pull out, and just kind of drop it down.
Okay. So let's say you just sorted your hand.
Oh, yeah.
It's all sorted now. If you wanted to automatically sort your hand, how would you do that?
If I wanted it to automatically, I'd probably like double click or
Here, let me quiz you. I don't know where I'm gonna get it.
maybe go to the ...
Do you want
Oh, there you go. Auto sort.
Okay.
Or sort.
So
Is auto sort one word?
yeah, so that's saying that your hand,
Yeah.
can, it's a feature you can turn on or off.
Oh, I see. Auto sort hand. Okay, these aren't three different options.
Yeah, that's
okay.
So that's just one title.
Yeah, on. Perfect.
And if you turn that feature on, what would you then expect to happen?
Yeah, I would expect, like, let's say that I chose a new card here, that it wouldn't, like a red 5 wouldn't appear here. It would appear by these.
Okay, perfect. And this is mislabeled right here, but this should say sort method, and this should be color or suit.
Oh, okay.
So you could sort by color, or sorry, number or suit.
Gotcha.
So you could sort here. Suit would also imply color.
Yeah. So meaning if I selected both these on, it would put the in case the 4 before the 9.
Correct.
Okay. If I had this off, it would just put yellows together and it wouldn't
Correct.
numerically. Okay.
Okay, so will you close the options menu? Okay, thank you. So at this point, let's say you only have one card left. In the game of Uno, you call Uno.
Oh yeah. Call out.
Perfect. Okay. So if that button was there in a game like this, would that make sense
Yeah,
to you?
absolutely. Now,
Okay.
Now that I know the instructions.
Okay.
Well, it's just my
And we've already talked about viewing more cards in hand. You said that you would just swipe or expect a button to click on. What about if you wanted to see your score? So Uno's a game that you typically play to a certain
Like if
number.
I had, if there were more cards over here off the screen, I'd expect like an arrow to appear or a ... or something indicating
That you can
This
scroll.
continues. Yeah.
Okay. So what if you wanted to check your score? Because this is a multiple round game.
Score.
And if you click on that, you would then see something like this.
Oh, cool. So these are the rounds that we've played. Now, this means like the first game, or no, player number 1, 2, and 3. So my name would be here since I had entered Johnny. So this would say Johnny, Michael, Jane. Okay, yeah.
Correct.
And then these are different rounds, and enter your score and submit.
Okay.
It's easy.
And so the way that we're thinking score will work is that whoever hosts the game can end the game. They'll end a round, and when they end the round, you'll get a pop-up on this screen that simply just says enter score.
Okay.
And you can just enter it there, and then it'll go and do all the math for you and add it to your own
nice.
column. But then if you don't get that or you just miss it on accident, you can always come in and enter your score here in case
I see.
you don't get the pop-up.
Okay.
Okay, so you already know how to close the menu that comes up. You've entered score. So then the last thing is...
Wait, what's hide again? Oh, hide is like the
Hide would
pause.
just flip the
Yes.
cards over so you'd see the
Okay.
back of the card.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But your idea of turning the phone off, that's what you would first go to, I imagine is what a lot of people will do.
Yeah.
So we need to handle the phone being locked and then coming back on and any connectivity issues. So let's say you just won the game, you called Uno, and then you played your last card, and the game's entirely over, and the round's over, and you're the host. So you come back to
Here, I would just click
game
on
board.
that.
Okay, so if you click on that, you see the menu.
End round.
Perfect. And we don't have anything drawn out for this, but when you clicked end round, knowing the game is still going, it's just that round ended.
Mm-hmm.
What are you expecting to then see beyond that?
Maybe options would come up and say, "Would you like to play another round?"
Okay.
You know, and would you like to add any players, or you know,
Okay.
I could maybe returns to, is it this screen?
Uh-huh. The setup.
Yeah, something like this. So I could, because if I ended the round, there might be someone who is waiting to join.
Okay.
So I'd like to be taken back to here to add a player if I wanted.
Okay. And then as far as just maybe you kind of figure out additional players and everything, and then would you want to see a start round or deal button or something like that in order to start the next round?
Yeah, so when I've added, so if I clicked end round and it took me back to here,
Mm-hmm.
and then I could either exit the game
Mm-hmm.
or I could add my other player or just stick with the current players and I'd hit start again.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I would do intuitively.
Okay, that's perfect. So let me